Hello, I'm a member of Toastmasters International, which, if you're not familiar with it, is a club where you learn to improve your public speaking and leadership skills. So every week I attend a meeting, and every week I prepare for a role. I could be the president of the assembly, I could be doing an evaluation, I could be preparing a speech. And I love the experience of practicing and improving my public speaking skills on a regular basis. And something that I noticed recently is that as I was planning to do a speech in the upcoming weeks, for example, I would feel a certain heaviness about the idea of doing it. I knew I had to prepare the speech and give it, and I worried, would I find the right topic? And it just felt heavy and difficult. And the preparation was stressful, and I worried a lot, and it just took a lot of my energy. And even though the speech or the role may have gone well, afterwards I would feel very tired and depleted. And at one point, after a particularly tiring experience, I started to question myself and ask whether the experience needed to be that way. It just felt too difficult. And so I decided to experiment. And in the following weeks, I set myself 3 different roles with a goal, 1, of doing the role well, of course. But my intention actually was to see if I could experience knowing I had these roles coming up, experience preparing for them, and experience doing them in a different, more lighthearted way. I set my intention very clearly, just with a very open mind to see what would happen. And you know what? It really worked. As the days were approaching to each of the different roles I had to do, I didn't feel worried about it. I knew the event was coming, but I trusted that it was going to go well. And in the preparation of it, the finding of the idea and the figuring out what I had to say, again, it came very naturally and spontaneously. I was in a trusting frame of mind, trusting that I would get the ideas that I needed and that I would have the time to prepare in the best possible way. Of course, there's always some nervousness before giving the speech or whatever. That's normal, but afterwards I felt much less depleted. In fact, I felt more energized, and the whole experience of preparing for and giving this speech or whatever had been so much more pleasant. And so I realized at this point that I always had a choice as to how I perceive these events or any event in our lives. We can often have almost a habit of thinking that life is hard and life is a struggle, but it doesn't have to be. We can, if we have a certain consciousness and a desire, then we can set the intention for the experience to be different. And by setting that strong intention, we set the energy in motion, and that's the experience that we manifest for ourselves. And so a question that I have for you is there an event or something in your life that makes you feel heavy and that feels difficult and hard? If there is, maybe just question yourself, could I perceive this differently? What attitude could I have that would make this feel more fun and more lighthearted? And know that if you set a strong intention to see this thing differently, to perceive it differently, you can perceive it differently. It's really possible. So have fun trying. Till the next time.